My name is Lise Sedrez. I'm a professor at the Universidade Federal do Rio de Janeiro. I'm a coordinator of Nature and History Lab. I did my master's thesis on the Amazon forest, and I did realize that most people were very excited about having a Brazilian writing on the Amazon in the United States. But for most Brazilians, 80% of whom live in cities, their first contact with environmental history is not through the Amazon rainforest. They live with floods, they live with rains, they live with pollution, they live with the material they're going to use to build their houses, and a number of things like with diseases, with lack of clean water, with lack of clean air. So this personal experience of nature is lived in a different way in the city. And that's what was attracting for me in urban environmental history. I ended up working also with floods and urban floods and the way people react to urban floods. As my work went on, I got in touch with some of the people who still have to deal with those floods, and they start using a technique called oral history. As they went interviewing my subjects, and I was working mostly in a very vulnerable community, a favela in Rio de Janeiro, I asked them to tell their life stories. So I was asking this woman about a particular date for that flood, and I asked, it was 1997, and she told me, no, it was 1994. How do you know that? Well, I had just had my kid. And then I realized how she was using her body, the fact that she had just had their kid, and to connect to the memories of the community, to the memories of nature, to the memories of how she lived with nature and that community. It was a different approach to nature, to community, and to social connections. That's a very interesting question, and it's possible to assess the veracity of some dates and elements by comparing it to what we read in newspapers, comparing different stories. But that's not always what I am interested. For instance, I'm not so interested in seeing if a certain flood happened in 2010 or 2008 or 1994. What I'm interested in seeing how people incorporate that particular flood in their narrative, how they see their relationship with natural elements such as the rain, the hill, the sea, the city, the material elements from which they built their houses. And that's more interested than a date or a particular telling of an event. But of course, you do have to make some kind of corroboration research, and that's why I have my wonderful team of students who also go through the different archives of newspapers to check lots of data for me.